Hey Funky, welcome back to my channel for another review. Today I'm very excited because I'll be reviewing a phone which has a mountain on its back, a camera bump so big that is bigger than my channel. So you guys know what to do, help a brother out, like and subscribe to my channel. Xiaomi 11 Ultra হচ্ছে গিয়ে Xiaomi's latest and greatest phone with two displays, one on the front and one on the back. আমি একটা জিনিস খেয়াল করেছি যে এইবার ফোন কোম্পানিজরা অনেক dual displays বানাচ্ছে. First Xiaomi and then Samsung with its Z line, Z Fold and Z Flip. Although I will recommend to get the Z Flip, a review coming out very soon. Now coming back to Xiaomi, it has a very big camera bump as well, the size of the moon. I mean, barbar khali camera bump er kotha bolchi because that's the first thing you're gonna realize and see. The camera bump ta etoi boro, it's huge, and I personally like it. It's a bold statement from Xiaomi. Ora etai ei intent tai rekheche এতই বড় ক্যামেরা বাম্প যে ফোনটা স্টেবল থাকে যখন ফোনটা রাখা হয়. সো আই গেস Xiaomi has solved the wobble problem. এই ফোনটার সবচেয়ে কুলেস্ট ফিচার হচ্ছে গিয়ে এটার রিয়ার ডিসপ্লে, যেটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে 1.1 inch AMOLED display, same display as the Xiaomi Band 5. It supports 126 by 294 resolution, so it's not that bright, but you know, it still does the job. Functionality থেকে বেশি এটার cool factorটা সবচেয়ে বেশি, because to be honest, you're hardly ever going to use your phone when it's facing down. But let's say you are. You can answer your notifications, you can see your notifications, you can show any pictures you want to, you can even write a customized message, and you can set it to any color you want to. And also the coolest feature is you can answer your calls just swiping up on the screen. Let's say you are with your friends in a restaurant or wherever you are, and then a phone call ashlo, and then you just swipe up on your back screen and then you just answer your call. That is James Bond level coolness. Now along with the rear display, etar piche tinta camera module ache ar ekta triple LED flash ache. Etar main camera is 50 megapixel ar mojar jinish hocche giye etar main camera sensor is one of the biggest, if not the biggest camera sensor in the world in a smartphone. Etar camera sensor size hocche 1/1.2 inches, which is about 0.86 inches. It is 20% bigger than the S21 Ultra camera sensor, which is still the camera king. And also etar camera sensor size is very similar to the Sony RV100 camera, which is a proper camera, and probably এটা Sony RV100 এর মতো এত ভালো ছবি তুলে না, because এই ফোনের back is glass, and glass backs do have its limitations. But nonetheless, etar ekta boro camera sensor, one of the biggest advantage is taking very high detailed photos with shallow depth of field all the time. Etar subjecter background onek high contrast create kore. For example, if you're taking a picture of something, etar background ta blur kore dey. It's a very similar effect to a portrait mode. Eta naturally takes very sharp photos, over process kore na, ar color gula is balanced, but not as balanced as the S21 Ultra camera. But etar chobi gula eto highly detailed je even when you zoom in, etar details gula still intact thake. Now there is a problem having such a big camera sensor, which is etar focus is very small. So if you're taking a picture of anything আর এটা যদি flat surface না থাকে তাহলে side গুলো অনেক fringe করে ফেলে, which is very very annoying. But still, despite that fact, it still takes very 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 good photos. Now at night it becomes completely a different phone. It's a beast of a phone because it captures a lot of light with the help of its fake sensors. The subject or its surroundings will look a lot brighter than it is, and some of you may hate it because you want your photos to look very natural, and to be honest, the photos do look over processed in this. So yeah, and also some of you may like it because you know you want your photos to look a lot brighter in the dark. So it really comes down to personal preference if you like it or not. Now moving on to its ultra wide lens, it has the biggest or the widest field of view, which is 108 degrees, the widest in a smartphone. So it literally captures anything or everything in its view. You don't really have to move back from your subject. That's how wide it is. And this camera lens has very similar features like its main camera. The photos are very sharp, colors are very natural, but there is a problem because ছবিটা এত wide, side দিক দিয়ে focus অত বেশি হয় না, focus take too soft, so you have to crop down for your photos to look natural. Now moving on to its zoom camera, it zooms up to 120 times, the biggest zoom you can get in a smartphone. Now you can see what Xiaomi is doing. First, সবচেয়ে বড় sensor, second হচ্ছে widest camera lens, and এখন হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে বেশি zoomed camera. So a camera don't get fooled because on paper it says 120 times. To be honest, any camera can zoom 120 times, but আপনারা যদি না জানেন যে কিসের ছবি তুলছেন তাহলে বুঝতেই পারবেন না, because ছবিটা এত pixelated হয়ে যায় when you zoom in 120 times. It also has a 5 times optical zoom, but if you zoom up to let's say 10 times, তারপরেও ক্যামেরাটার যে ডিটেলসটা থাকে ওটা ইনট্যাক্ট থাকে। এর থেকে বেশি জুম করলে ডিটেলসটা আর থাকে না। Okay, now fun fact. All the 3 cameras have night vision option, and all the 3 cameras can shoot your videos at 8K resolution, which is very impressive. But unfortunately, it's locked at 24 FPS, so I will suggest you to record your videos at 4K resolution at 30 FPS or 60 FPS. Now it's very easy to switch between the cameras while you're recording your videos, but I will suggest you to avoid the macro lens, because you know suddenly your subject will be very zoomed in, so stay away from that lens when you're switching your cameras. Now you guys still might not be that impressed with the camera system. You can complain যে এটাতে পোর্ট্রেট মোড নাই, এটাতে মাত্র 3টা ক্যামেরা মডিউল, টেলিফোটো লেন্স নাই, অন্য ফোন কোম্পানিতে এই সব কিছু আছে। That is all true, but I will tell you something that is literally going to blow your mind about the camera system. Xiaomi still has a wild card. Remember the rear display I told you about? It still has a trick left. You can take selfies using all the 3 main cameras at the back with the help of its rear display. Now selfie tular shomay you can see yourself in the rear display, and like I said, you can use all the 3 cameras, so it means you can take a very high detail selfie using the biggest sensor from the main camera. You can take the widest selfie using the ultra wide camera, and also you can take the most zoomed in selfie using the zoom camera, and also you can shoot your videos or take photos using the night vision as well. Now this is a game changer, and I'll give you an example. Let's say you are at a restaurant and আপনারা অনেক বড় group গিয়েছেন and you want to take a group photo. Now what do? You give your phone to a stranger or a waiter, and more often or not they take very shitty photos. And also we are in a pandemic situation and you don't want to give your phone to a stranger because you know you will contract coronavirus. Now you can take a group photo selfie yourself by switching to the ultra wide camera. Everyone is going to fit in and the photo is going to come out brilliant. There are unfortunately some limitations to it. You cannot record your video more than 15 seconds. You cannot use all the back cameras to take selfies in the social apps. Also, there is no portrait mode. So I don't know why Xiaomi has limited the camera system, because it's such a brilliant camera system and it's like having a Ferrari and driving it around 20 kilometers per hour. That is just sad. I have been spending a lot of time talking about its camera features and also the rear display, because I firmly believe if you decide to buy the phone, it will be mainly because of these 2 amazing features. Now don't get me wrong, the rest of the phone is super amazing and brilliant. It is called an ultra phone and it is called for a reason. It has all the flagship specs. It has a Snapdragon 888 chip. It has 12GB of RAM and a super fast storage of 512GB. This phone comes in 3 colors. I chose the gray color. This phone has a ceramic back. Now some people say ceramic back is stronger than the glass back, although I have my doubts. It is quad curve and this phone is super heavy. I am still alive. That means I haven't accidentally dropped the phone on my face yet, otherwise it could have killed me. Now such a big phone comes with a very big battery. It comes with 5000 milliamp power battery, and to juice it up, it comes with a 67 watt fast charging. Now you don't get the charger with the box, you have to separately buy it, at least with the Chinese variant, and with the Indian variant I think a 55 watt fast charging adapter comes along with it. Now this phone charges from 0 to 100 in 35 to 40 minutes. That is just super fast charging. I think Samsung S21 Ultra takes about 1 hour 10 minutes to charge its battery, and OnePlus 9 Pro can supercharge, but the size of the battery is 4500, so I think it's super impressive that such a big battery can be charged so quickly. Now it also has a wireless charging, and it also charges wirelessly from 0 to 100 in about 40 minutes, and the Samsung charges it about in 1.5 hours. So you see where I'm going. This phone is super fast. Now I forgot to mention a few things about the battery. Now the battery uses a new material because the battery is much thinner than before, and also it gives you a screen time of roughly about 8 hours. Now if you're using the camera system, the battery literally drains super quick, but it also makes it up by super fast charging with the 67-watt charger, and it also charges super quick as well. Now when Samsung's S series gets launched, it automatically becomes the best display in the market until its Note series gets launched. Samsung has been making the best displays for a while until now. I think the Xiaomi 11 Ultra's display are much superior than Samsung because it uses a 6.8-inch AMOLED Quad HD plus 120Hz Gorilla Glass Victus HDR10 plus adaptive panels, and it has the brightest display as well with 1700 nits with 480 Hz sample rate and a display that can show 10-bit colors. Not only Xiaomi has the best display, but it also outperforms Samsung and iPhone in every aspect. That's how good the phone is. Now this phone has everything, and I mean literally everything. It has reverse charging, it has an IR blaster, which means you can turn this phone into a remote. You can switch on and switch off the AC, you can switch on, switch off the TV, increase the volume, change channels, etc, etc. It even has an IP68 rating. Also it has dual stereo speakers, one on the top and one on the back, and it is designed by Harman Kardon, and these speakers are the loudest by far. আর কিছু যদি এই ফোনটার মধ্যে দিত তাহলে I think this phone easily could have taken over the world. Now moving on to its user interface, Xiaomi user interface ki MIUI bole, and at first I had my doubts whether I will like the UI or not, because it has a lot of pre-installed apps. It doesn't give frequent software updates, because my favorite UI is OnePlus Oxygen OS, because it gives the user very clean and smooth Android experience, and also it gives the user a lot of software updates. Now don't get me wrong, I actually liked the MIUI only because it gives the user a lot of options, a lot of customization options, starting from its theme of its font, the color, also its wallpaper theme, etar camera system onek customize kora jay, and even etar aro extra features as, for example, you can this phone can give the user a paper like experience. Ekta sun option আছে যেটা ক্লিক করলে this phone becomes very bright because সূর্যের আলোতে হয়তো বা দেখা না যায়. It has anti-flicker, it has a lot of customization options. So because of these things, I think MIUI is actually pretty decent একটা user interface. I bought this phone at 92,000 taka from Fairtrade Electronics. They haven't, this is not a sponsored video, but I think their service is excellent because they provided me the phone in 3 weeks and they got it from China. It is the 512GB variant. I have spoken a lot about this phone. I've mentioned all the specs. Please do let me know if this heavy phone is worth buying or not. Mention it in the comments. So I'm ending my review here. Next আমি Xiaomi একটা budget friendly projector review করব, তারপরে Facebook আর Ray-Ban এর একটা smart glasses review করব. So yeah, I'll be reviewing very interesting products or gadgets like this. So do like my channel, subscribe my channel. I'll see you in the next video.